What if Tensura? Frozen Love, Rimuru x Velzard, Part 2 by Rimuru 6360 Love. That one person. Who is that person? Tell me who. The one whose destiny entangled with mine to the point of existing as one. Existing as one? Is this even possible? But who will love you that much other than me? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Fufu, is this even a question, my wifey? Wife? You have gotten married even though you have me. I will kill her. I will drive her into madness. You can't, she is already mad. Madly in love with me. Madly in love for what? For love. Why? Why? What is the reason? To be loved. By whose permission? By love. Chapter 5. Finally, you are back. It's been a month since Demon Lord Milum joined our little slime in his town. The schedule of Rimuru changed since Milum decided to live in his town. The new routine of Rimuru is relatively easy. He does all the paperwork in the morning and in his free time. Free time means when Milum falls asleep, because Rimuru didn't waste any chance that he gets to practice with Milum. His strength is increasing incredibly fast while fighting against her. Seeing Rimuru that determined, Milum always beat him up till he wasn't able to move, and she did all of this in the name of training. At night, Rimuru does his remaining paperwork and practices sometimes. He already perfectly mastered his unique skill, so there is no need to practice more. So he mostly sleeps at night after doing his paperwork. The sun is setting and the darkness gradually takes over the great forest of Jura. As the night has come at the great forest of Jura, stars are twinkling and the moon is glittering brightly. A cold wind is flowing. In the middle of the night, two people are lying peacefully on the soft grass watching the night sky filled with the stars. Rimuru, why didn't you want to become a demon lord? Milum asked out of the blue. Rimuru was a little startled by the sudden question. Why did you ask all of a sudden? It's been a while since she brought up this topic. At first, she constantly bothered him about becoming a demon lord, but for some reason, she stopped a week ago and this is the first time he heard her bring up the topic again. Just want to know your reason, Milum replied to him with a smile as she turned towards Rimuru. In the dim moonlight, Rimuru's face looks extremely beautiful. Milum forcefully suppressed the urge to hug Rimuru. Well, there is only one reason, to be honest, Rimuru said to her. As he turned around, he saw that others are still quite far from them, sleeping in their tents. Rimuru wants to give a day off to his subordinates, and that's when Shuna proposed the idea to go to the beach and camping outside at night. Strangely, all of the executives agreed with her suggestion. So as the result, they are sleeping outside. Well, Rimuru and Milum are not feeling tired, that's why they are still not sleeping. I didn't want to kill humans. Rimuru replied to her truthfully and Milum can also tell that he was telling the truth. But why did you have to kill humans? Milum asked, confused, as she looked at Rimuru. I need human souls to evolve into a true demon lord, Rimuru replied to her with a smile as he watched her confused face. Why didn't you want to kill humans? Is it because of the city? Milum asked him. I'm only telling you the real reason why I don't want to kill humans because you are my friend, Rimuru said with a serious face. Wait, isn't it because you want to build a nation with humans? Milum asked him, surprised. She didn't expect that there is another reason why Rimuru didn't want to kill humans. He is full of secrets and surprises, Milum thought with a smile. But the real reason is that I was a human before I reincarnated here as a slime, Rimuru confessed to her. So why did you tell me now? Milum asked him with a soft voice. Well, it's because you are my bestie and I didn't want to hide this from you, he replied nonchalantly. What if I told someone your secret? She is correct. She can leak his secret without him knowing, but Rimuru believes in her. The time that he has spent with her tells him that he can trust Milum. Same goes for Milum. She also feels that she can wholeheartedly trust Rimuru. Well, in my previous world when I was young, my mother told me that trust is the base of all kinds of relationships. The relation between two people is meaningless if you didn't completely trust your partner. Rimuru replied to her with a smile. And you're my bestie. If I didn't trust you, then who will? Milum felt very happy after hearing Rimuru's reply. He is right, without trust, you can't build a relationship, be it friendship or any other relationship. She calls him best friend. That means she can trust Rimuru with her secrets, but the problem is she doesn't have any secret to share with him, or at least that is what she thought. It doesn't matter that much. So don't worry about it, I was planning to tell others anyway. Rimuru's voice breaks Milum from her thoughts as she looked at Rimuru and smiled. You can count on me, Milum said with a determined face. Thank you, Rimuru said to her. Souls. Human souls are the only problem. If I can get the souls from somewhere. I just have to kill some bugs anyway. No. Rimuru will not like me if I killed humans. Arg. Who can give me souls? Wait. I think he might have some. Yes. That person is collecting souls for some reason. There is nothing wrong if I asked him for some souls. Rimuru. I'm leaving now. I know someone who might have human souls. I will see you after 2 or 3 days. With that said, she took off to the sky without waiting for Rimuru's reply. Why? But before Rimuru can utter a single word, Milum has already flown out of his sight. Sigh. That girl, Rimuru muttered to himself. In the middle of the night, Milum is flying at a speed that is 10 times faster than that of the speed of sound. She was flying in a certain direction where nobody wants to go. After flying for a while, she landed in front of a castle. The castle was huge and majestic, purely made up of ice. What brings my niece here tonight? A beautiful lady with white hair and blue eyes said to her as she appeared in front of her. The aura she was emitting is the same as a normal human, but just with a single glance, Milum can tell she is extremely terrifying. I have some business with Guy. Milum replied to her without any hint of fear or anything. The person in front of her is none other than the strongest, true dragon, Velzard. Her father's little sister and her aunt. Guy, then come in, Velzard replied to her as she led her to the throne room. There was a hint of surprise in her voice, but Milum didn't notice. Milum, what brings you here today, or should I say tonight? Guy asked her with a smile as he watched her coming. I want to ask if you have any human souls. Milum didn't beat around the bush. She told him right away. Human souls? I have some. Why do you need them? Guy asks her cautiously. There is a hint of suspiciousness in his voice as he narrowed his eyes. Velzard didn't care what they were talking about as she left the room. But that doesn't mean she isn't listening. That means he has some. But how much do I need? I forgot to ask Rimuru about how many souls he needs. Arg, how many humans did I kill when I evolved into a demon lord? Many thoughts were popping out in her head, but she dismissed all the thoughts as she replied to Guy. I need at least 100k or so. I'm not sure myself. I'm experimenting with something. Milum replied to him. Guy looked suspicious of her but didn't say anything because he knows how much of a hassle it can be if he angered her. Not to mention, he is not sure about his victory against her. If Velzard joins the fight, then he will win for sure, but he is sure she would not choose him even if they battle. Milum is her niece in the end. Even if he drags the battle, Milum will win eventually because of the mana breeder reactor. The safest choice is to give her what she wants. Here, Guy said as he gave her a crystal ball. The ball contains more than 100k souls. A smile appeared on Milum's poker face as she saw the ball. Thank you. I will remember this favor of yours. Milum said as she left as fast as she came. Remember my favor. Guy muttered to himself. Since when did she become this mature? Velzard added as she came into the throne room. As always, Milum didn't even say goodbye to her, but she was not angry at her nor was she happy. She was just surprised that she came here. The relationship between the true dragon and her is not simple. That's why she always ignored them. It's not like Velzard tried to get close to her anyway. I have a strange feeling about this. Velzard's senses were telling her that this whole world is about to change because of the little exchange of souls. She is a true dragon, so she is very sensitive to danger or changes in the world. And her senses are telling her that this whole world is about to get caught in some troublesome problems, but in the end, all will be fine. Her heart started to beat as she thought of a certain boy with a charming smile. Could it be? No, it can't be. Is he back? Velzard thought to herself as a small smile appeared on her face. But the smile soon faded as a cruel smile appeared on her beautiful face. Finally, you're back. Chapter 6, Demon Slime. It's been a long time since Milum left. I'm just sitting here watching the rising sun as I feel an incredible amount of magic heading in my direction. Milum? But didn't she tell me to wait for 2 or 3 days? Milum, you came earlier, I said to her as I watched her landing in front of me, and again she created a crater in her landing spot. Oh, I thought I had to fight a troublesome person to get this, but I was wrong, Milum replied to me nonchalantly. Even Milum calls that person troublesome. Just how strong that person is. Here, this is a gift for you, she said as she gave me a crystal ball. I looked at her with a curious look, but she was just grinning like an idiot while looking at me. What is this? But before I can say any further, Great Sage chimes in. Wah! What? 100,000 human souls? This time I was shocked beyond belief. There are many questions that I want to ask her, but I need to calm my mind first. Let's talk with her now. So that means you didn't kill anyone, correct? I asked her to be sure. Correct, Milum replied. So this is a gift for me? Yes. What a short reply. I cannot accept this gift. This is not something you can just give to someone as a mere gift. I want to complain, but I decided against it. Gluttony, I whispered as I ate the crystal ball. But that was a big mistake as I heard the voice of the world. The voice of the world resounds in my mind. As I heard the voice, my mind started to get fuzzy as sleep started to take over my mind. Milum, please protect all of us for the time being. I said to her, barely conscious. You can rest assured. I heard her say as I closed my eyes and fell asleep. Greater than end, being but a concept of a unique skill, without having any self-awareness, but for the sake of serving its master, Great Sage, desired to evolve. Greater than after attempting a million combinations, finally a result. The Harvest Festival bestowed upon it such a gift. The ability to evolve a skill to what this world knew as the ultimate skill. That was something thought to be nearly impossible to occur. After many failed attempts, such were the results. That was something desired by the skill to fulfill its master's request, to save her master's first human friend, but as a mere concept, it felt no joy. With the newfound ability, the newly evolved skill went to work again for its master's sake. Again, evolution resumed. Greater than again, Raphael's voice rang in Rimuru's head, but he is sleeping peacefully. What was that sound? Shuna said as she woke up from her sleep. Did Rimuru-sama evolve into a demon lord? Shion joined in. They looked perplexed and anxious as their gaze turned to see Milum, who was holding a sleeping Rimuru in her lap. That's right, Noda. Rimuru is now a demon lord, Milum said with a grin. Greater than then they, too, were greeted with intense exhaustion. NGH. What is going on? Oh, is this our gift? I feel more connected to Sir Rimuru than ever. Benimaru, Shuna, and the others couldn't hide their surprise. Now Benimaru realized that Rimuru's evolution was successfully completed, and it was their turn. Nobody expected this kind of fatigue to arise, as they also fell asleep. Milum, you are bullying me, Rimuru complained as he spars against Milum. Wahaha. Fighting you is fun, Noda, Milum replied to him. But you don't have to beat me this badly, Rimuru winced. Wahahaha. I will go easy on you next time, Milum replied as she patted Rimuru's back. Greater than Raphael-san's voice rang into Rimuru's head as he watched the sky. They are still far, but Rimuru can see them with his enhanced sight. Milum also sensed them as she looked toward Rimuru. They are not showing any killing intent. I think they came here to meet me, Rimuru said as he shrugged his shoulders. Let's meet with them first. With that, Rimuru used shadow movement and appeared in front of the city gate. And Milum goes back into Rimuru's office to ask Shuna for some food. She already knows they are no match for Rimuru, that's why she didn't bother to go with him. After waiting for a while, they finally reach the city and land in front of the city gate. Sensing their presence, Benimaru, Sue, Shion, and Hakuro also came running toward the gate. Who are you? Rimuru's cold voice rang in the open area as the soldiers tensed up. But their leader didn't show any type of response. He calmly gets off his horse, and so do all the soldiers, and greeted Rimuru with respect. Greetings. My name is Gazel. I'm the king of the Dwargon nation. Rimuru Tempest. What's brought you here to my town? Rimuru asked him while greeting him back. I will get straight to the point, Gazel said with a serious face. I have come to see what you truly are, Rimuru Tempest. He said with a calm but serious voice as he tried to gauge Rimuru's power. What I truly, Rimuru muttered to himself. I will expose your true nature with my sword, Gazel said majestically. All of his subordinates looked impressed. Since you boasted of being the leader of the town, it seems I must teach you where you stand. If that sword is any more than a mere decoration, you would do well to accept my proposal. Gazel challenged Rimuru for a duel. Rimuru is not a person who loves to fight, but he is not someone who declines a request as well. He only declines a request when his opponent is too weak or too strong. Your Majesty, you will? The captain of the guards was about to say something, but Gazel cut him off. An earnest battle is the quickest way to settle this matter. Is it not? Gazel asked his subordinates. All right then, I accept. I will make you regret accusing me of boasting, Rimuru said with a serious face. He already knows Gazel didn't have any intention of harming him or his subordinates. He is just trying to show his subordinates just how powerful this town is. If you can defend against my chain of attack, you win. But I warn you not to underestimate the skills of this master swordsman, Gazel Dwargo. Gazel warned Rimuru as he unsheathed his sword and took a fighting position. Very well then, I will be the witness of this contest. Suddenly Trainee appeared in front of them as she offered to act as a referee. A dryad. The other soldiers gasped, surprised. It looks like you are not boasting about being a leader. But it doesn't matter. Either way, I will have to see your true face, Gazel said as he looked directly into Rimuru's eyes. Yes. But I suggest you do your best to even put a scratch on my body. Don't dare to hold back, Rimuru warned him. Start, Trainee said as the match finally began. Just as the match started, Gazel made his first move. He moved towards Rimuru and slashed towards his chest area. Ting tilde, a piercing sound of two swords clashing with each other rang throughout the whole area. King Gazel was startled for a moment. He didn't expect Rimuru to block his attack this easily. Sensing the power that Rimuru holds, without any further ado, he pushed himself to his maximum capacity. Full power attacks from Gazel's sword started to head toward Rimuru, but with a calm face, Rimuru deflected all of his attacks. Clang clang clang, strike after strike, Gazel found himself in quite a difficult situation as Rimuru started his counterattack. Even amid a fierce battle, King Gazel tried to look at Rimuru's face, even just for a second. Rimuru didn't even give Gazel enough time to see his face as he is assaulting him. No, it's more like he is harassing Gazel. All the frustration from Milum he vented on Gazel. Question mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. A chill ran down Gazel's back as he looked at Rimuru. The thing that terrified Gazel is not Rimuru's attacks, but rather his expression. Sharp attacks, but he looks calm. Clang clang, I'm on the verge of collapse and he's just playing with me. What a monster! Not able to handle Rimuru's assault, Gazel decided to use one of his best attacks. Gazel disappeared from his position. No, he moved at a speed that the human eye can't see. But Rimuru can see his movements, not clearly, but he can see because of thought acceleration. From upward, Rimuru thought as he blocked Gazel's last strike and put his sword on his neck. You are good with a sword, but I'm better, Rimuru said to Gazel as he sheathed his sword. Chapter 7. Old Man is back. So you are saying you came here to form a diplomatic relationship with our town, I said to Gazel as I tried to digest what he said. Precisely, he replied. Are you sure? I mean, this nation is full of monsters, I said to him just to be sure. Yes, I'm sure, he replied to me with a nod. Then what is the condition for the treaty? I asked him, and he just gave me a document. A non-aggression treaty. Promise of assistance, in the event either nation is endangered. The building of a road to Dwargon. Dwargon will pay half the price. Guaranteed safety for dwarves within the forest of Jura. Promises of sharing technology between Tempest and Dwargon. I smiled as I read the content of the documents. I added some points of my own and showed them to Gazel. Do you accept? I asked him as I gave him the papers back. I added 3 points. Culture exchange between the two countries. No taxes on the products from either side for 2 years. Job and education for Tempest people in Dwargon. Only applied if they want to study or work. Are you sure about this? I mean, you can get much more with taxes than Dwargon. I want to laugh at what he said. Dude, I'm from the 21st century, I want to shout, but I hold back as I nodded. Well, at first it looks like Dwargon will profit from it, but in actuality, it helps us. How? Well, it's fairly simple. We can sell fruit, crops, and many other things. Our town is in the forest. Naturally, we can grow crops faster than anyone, and not to mention you can find fruit trees everywhere in the forest because of the tribes. Many tribes joined us and, as a result, the place where they used to live falls into my hands, and I simply asked hundreds of my subordinates to plant fruit trees there. Because of that, we have too much fruit, not to mention wine. We can sell monster meat. High-class nobles love the meat of a monster. I heard this from Kaijin. We also have full potions, and many herbs that were supposed to be impossible to find grow everywhere in this forest. I think he didn't know about this yet. Because of Veldora, Nobody dares to enter the forest and, as a result, nobody knows about the internal structure and habitation of the forest. Veldora. Hey, Raphael, you said the seal was broken, right? Greater than oh. I completely forgot about that. Sorry, Veldora, just wait for me a bit more. Yes, I'm sure. You can rest assured, I said to him with a smile as I signed the papers. He also signed the paper, but I think we forgot to fill in the important details in the form. Did you have a name for your country? Gazel also noticed that, now that I think about it, I didn't think of a name for the country yet. How about Jura Tempest Federation, or Tempest, for short? All of my subordinates nodded after hearing the name I thought of. I think it's the best name, Shuna said with a huge grin. And we can name this city, Rimuru, the capital of Tempest. Rigard suddenly voiced his opinion, and all of my subordinates were strangely very happy about the name of the city. I nodded as Gazel filled the form. I just sighed heavily. Let's have a party, Milum suddenly shouted. Because of Milum, we danced and drank all night. Of course, I and Milum drank juice. I didn't let her drink wine and, as a result, I also ended up drinking juice. The next day Gazel left the city, but he left a gift for me, and that is Vesta. I don't know why, but at first, he and Kaijin didn't go well with each other. There is some kind of feud between them, but I think now they've made up with each other, because they are working hard in their sectors while also helping each other. That's good news. Huh, what was that? I thought as I looked out of my office. Smoke was coming from the middle of the city. I flew toward the place as fast as I can. The crowd started to make a way for me as they saw me landing near them. As I reached the center of the crowd, I saw Milum punch someone very hard. I turned my head slightly and noticed that Rigard is also injured. I gave him a healing potion as I turned toward Milum. What happened here? I asked her with a serious face as she started to explain to me. So you were saying because of that person. What was his name again? Phobio. Yes, Phobio. Attacked Rigard first. That's why you punched him? I said to her as she nodded and looked at me with a face that is like saying, praise me. Did she expect that I will praise her? She did it for Rigard though. Didn't you promise not to cause trouble? I said to her. Wah. What? She asked, shocked. She didn't expect that coming. Did she? But because you did save Rigard, I will let it slide, I said to her with a sly smile. She ran toward my office with a pout. And you come with me. I ordered all three of them to come with me as I splashed a healing potion on him. So you were saying Demon Lord Carrion wants me to work under him? I asked him as he nodded. I'm not interested in working under someone else, I said to him with a cold tone. But if he wants to sign a treaty, I will happily accept it, I added. Understood, he said as he left the office while glaring at Milum. But Milum didn't even glance at him. She was busy eating food. Milum, I think you have to explain to me about demon lords, I said to her as she looked at me confused. What do you want to know? She asked me. Nothing much, just tell me everything you know, I said to her with a grin. Milum did tell me everything that she knows about the demon lords, but, just as I expected, there was no useful info. Oh, yes, I think it's time to release Veldora, I thought as I teleported into the cave where I met Veldora for the first time. I put a barrier around the cave so as not to disturb others who are working at the entrance of the cave. Raphael-san, make a clone of me for Veldora to possess, I said to Raphael-san as a clone formed in front of me. Now release Veldora, I murmured as a huge amount of magicules started to flow out of my body and entered my clone. Wahaha! Storm Dragon Veldora is back. Anyone who gets in my way will be perished by me, Veldora said as he laughed loudly, while releasing a huge amount of his aura. That's enough, old man, I said to him jokingly with a smile. It's been a while since I last saw him. Rimuru, it's been a while, he said to me while putting his fist in front of me for a fist bump. Indeed it's been a while, I said to him with a grin as my fist collided with his. You've become strong, he said to me. I just nodded my head in agreement. I've improved a lot since we last saw each other. I gave him a bracelet that Raphael-san made. The bracelet works the same as the mask Shizu gave me. He can control his aura but, to be sure. Beelzebub, I said in my heart as Beelzebub ate all the magicules that Veldora released. I snapped my finger as the barrier broke like glass. Let's go. I want you to meet with Milum, I said to him. As we reached the office, Milum was eating cookies like always. Rimuru you re, Veldora, Milum said, surprised. She recognized him instantly with a single glance. Why are you surprised? Didn't I tell you about him? I asked her as she just nodded her head in confirmation. Well, Veldora, she is Milum, I said to him as he nodded. What is this weird atmosphere? Or is this just my imagination? Milum, as you know, Veldora's existence is a secret. I will introduce him to others when the time comes, I said to her as she nodded. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that I should keep Veldora's identity a secret. Raphael-san also suggests I keep him a secret. Veldora, you are not allowed to tell anyone your real identity, I warned him and he nodded. Whoa, I think he became a little smarter than before. Chapter 8, Otaku's Child. Currently, I'm doing some paperwork in my office and Veldora is reading manga in my house. I let him live with me because of his identity. I already informed Shuna, Sue, Benimaru, Shion, Rigard, and Hakuro. Other than these people, nobody knows about his true identity. Shuna sent 2 of the best maids to serve him. Well, he is like a god, so I think this much is given. Rimuru. Suddenly the door slammed open and a trio of adventurers entered my office. Aren, Kaval, and Guido. I greeted them. I was surprised that someone was able to enter my office without any notice. Now I understand why nobody stopped them. But I think there are other people with them this time. I will talk with you in the meeting room, I said to them as they nodded and left my office. I teleported myself inside the meeting room. All the other people also entered the room and took their seats. Benimaru and Shion are also present in the room as Shuna was serving tea and snacks to everyone. I'm the leader of this town, or nation, called Jura Tempest Federation. My name is Rimuru Tempest. I introduced myself to all of them. By the way, Rimuru, there are some people that we didn't see last time, Aren asked me. Oh, yeah. This is Benimaru, Shion, and Shuna. There are others but you will see them later. I introduced all of them. Just then Milum entered the room while eating some sweets. And she is Demon Lord Milum, I added as I saw her. So the kingdoms of Bloomond and Falmouth have both come to investigate this place? I asked them as I transformed back into my slime form. We are. Fuse was about to say something, but the person named Yum cut him off. Wait a minute. Why is a slime acting like such a big shot? This doesn't make sense. Why are all of you okay with this? He said in a cool voice. Is he trying to act cool? You are insulting Rimuru-sama, Shion warned him as she glared at him. Shut your mouth. And he got a smack in his head by Shion's heavy sword. He deserved that hit, but I have to warn her not to act rashly. Shion, I'm sorry. That was a fast response from Shion. She swiftly bowed her head as she apologized. But Milum didn't let this chance go to show off. Ha ha ha. You have a long way to go, Shion, if you want to control your temper. You are so short-tempered because you don't have an open mind as I do. Whoa! She boasted and scolded at the same time. She is pretty good at it, I have to admit. I want to have a good relationship with human nations. I hope we can trade and network with you all someday, too, I said to them and they all nodded. And you, Yum, Falmouth hired you, correctly? Yes. I want you to work for me. I want you to be hailed as a champion who killed the Orc Lord. I gave him my offer. They all looked shocked after hearing my offer. They looked suspicious of me. That's why I tried to elaborate on my idea to them. I want people to recognize me as a monster who helped the champion, not a mysterious monster who killed the Orc Lord. As I said this, Yum and his subordinates chimed in. Yes, it is easier that way. I think he is right. What do you think, boss? He looked troubled with his decision and Fuse also did not look that convinced about living with a monster. I will give you a week to decide. You all can stay here and can see with your own eyes just how we truly are. I gave him a week to make his choice. I think this much time is enough. They all nodded and started to leave the room as I teleported into my office. It's been 4 days since I gave my offer to Yum and his team. I'm taking a stroll in the town when I see that Milum, Kaval, and his party returned from hunting monsters, and Milum is boasting about herself. I was about to leave the place when I felt some fluctuation in space. Milum and Shion also felt the abnormality in the space as they are looking at the same place as me. Benimaru and Sue also appeared in front of me. As we watched, a dryad appeared in front of us with a black smoke-like substance surrounding her whole body. Greater than, I'm Tria. Younger sister of Trainee. What's with that murderous aura? I asked her as she introduced herself. There is an emergency. Calamity is approaching. Charybdis is heading towards this town. Charybdis? I asked her, confused. All the people were looking at me like they saw an alien. What? Don't forget I'm only a year old. What? Rimuru-sama is only a year old? Shion, you don't have to repeat it. Arg. It is embarrassing to say, but I'm the youngest in our group. But that doesn't matter. I can ask my partner for help. Raphael-san, please explain about that creature. Greater than As I thought, Raphael-san is the best. No doubt. I will take care of him when he reaches close to the town. Yes, Rimuru-sama, there is no need to panic. He is only a demon lord level enemy and we have Veldora and Milum as a backup if something goes wrong. What? You were saying you are going to kill the Charybdis alone? Rimuru-san, I know you are strong but… Fuse and Aren, you two are worried for nothing. Well, I'm happy that someone is worried for me, though. But I'm not going to say it out loud. Don't worry, we have Milum as a backup if anything bad happens. Yes, and I'm going with Rimuru-sama, I said and Shion backed me up. That's the first time I felt like she is doing a good job as my self-proclaimed secretary. After discussing with others, we departed to subjugate the Charybdis. I, with Benimaru, Shion, and Hakuro, waited for Charybdis. Milum is resting under the tree a little far away. Fuse, Aren, and others also came here to watch the battle and they are standing near Milum. After waiting for a while, finally, he came. Charybdis, and he didn't disappoint me. Milum always beat me to a pulp in the name of training and the same goes for Veldora. Of course, I spar with him in secret. That's why I'm looking for someone to test my power, and he is the perfect toy to test my new power. It's time to see the fruit of my labor. Benimaru, Shion, and Hakuro are going to kill 4 of his subordinates. And I'm going to kill him and one of his last subordinates or, you can say, evil spirit. Benimaru toasted 4 megalodons with his hell flare. Shion also sliced them in 2 with her sword, and Hakuro sliced them until they became small pieces of meat. Like really small, we can even cook them. And now it's my turn. Let's see how strong these Charybdis and megalodons are. I use my sword as I cut the megalodons into 2 pieces. What? He is this weak? Now I'm worried about Charybdis. I hope he doesn't disappoint me. I stretched my wings and took off into the sky as I came in front of Charybdis. He fired his scales toward me. The speed is not that great, to be honest. But the number can't be underestimated. Beelzebub, I said as a torrent of black and blue smoke appeared in front of me and devoured every single scale that headed towards my way. Let's try my new sword. I summoned my new katana. Kurobe and Kaijin worked together to make this katana for me. Originally this katana was not that strong but, after absorbing my magicules for this long, it became a low-class legend-grade weapon. I think this is the weakest legend-grade sword in existence, but for now, this will do. I pointed my katana at Charybdis as I launched myself at him, as black fire and lightning surrounded my sword. I slashed my sword in his direction as I hit its back. But it didn't do a lot of damage. Let's try something else. I poured my magicules into the sword as I heard the sound of electricity crackling. The black fire and lightning intensified as I slashed one of his wings in 2. Black lightning, black electricity hit in the middle, burning his body into a crisp. And let's finish this with this sword strike. Slash 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 I slashed his body multiple times as his body parts started to fall from the sky. I think it's over. Beelzebub. I ate all of his body with Beelzebub as I felt my power increase a little. Let's meet up with the others.